like an hour 20 minutes. Like when I used to drive in like 15 minutes, it takes me like an hour and 20 minutes to get here. Plus the waiting time. And plus that you never know if it's going to show up late or way too early. It's not bad. I just stay here all day. So it makes it easier. My dad picks me up sometimes.
Trafficking Prevention Club meeting for the fall semester. It's our first meeting. My name is Yu Ping Jane, and I'm from a nonprofit, Nicole Foundation International. And we're initiating this club along with students at first. So we started the club since last spring. And welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Yeah, we're happy to see you. So first of all, I think I'm going to go around introducing each person by themselves, of course. Yeah, so I'll start with maybe my name, where I'm from, then the country you would like to visit the most. We'll start with that today, okay? So my name is Yu Ping, and then I'm from Taiwan. And let's see, I always thought I want to go to Switzerland because it's so green and it's so natural. I also want to go to Japan, but I already made it there, so that's I'm going down my list. So yes, and I'll start with Dr. Precious. Yeah, and then she can introduce.
Hi everyone, I'm Amber Precious. I'm the new faculty advisor here. I'm from Wisconsin originally. I've only been in Vegas for about 2 years now. I'm really excited to learn more about this club and get involved and hear from all of you today. So nice to meet you. And then I would really want to make it to Germany. I've got family there. Yeah. I was supposed to go this year, but nice to meet everyone.
Thank you.
I'm at college, and the country I would like to go to probably be Thailand or Brazil.
Oh, it's very different.
Very far apart.
And where are you from?
My family's from the island.
Girl, come on. Welcome.
Hello everybody, I'm Eduardo, originally from Venezuela, but I grew up out here. I really want to go to it lately, but I've already been to Japan enough. I love Japan, but I'm not saying it's enough. It's never enough. Lately I really want to go to like Iceland and Norway. Like for summer it's like really dark, like even during the day. Just want to go there.
And you're tired of looking
Yeah, that is true. I am tired of Las Vegas. It's way too hot out here.
I see. Okay, everyone.
I'm Angie. I'm from Vegas. Any place I want to visit is probably Switzerland as well.
Oh, really? I'll see you there. Yeah, why?
I have some pictures and I really like the mountains, and I can be in nature.
Yeah. Cows and sheep. Cool.
Hi, I'm Rosa. I'm from California, but I've been here for like 15 years, so I would like to be basic and visit Europe. There's so much to do in the cities. I sound really
Hello, I'm LaDonia. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, but I've been living here in Las Vegas for about a decade now. But no, he's with the chair. No, I've only gone twice, and there's still so much to see. So I'd have to say I'd go back to Japan, specifically to Osaka.
Awesome. Have you been there before?
Yeah.
Oh, but you just want to revisit.
Yes, I went to Japan most recently for my birthday last December. Roppongi. It was Tokyo. And I took the bullet train to Shinkansen all the way to Osaka to go to Nintendo World.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to go into Nintendo World at Universal Studios Osaka because my time was for 6 p.m. And it was too cold and I was too tired to wait that long. So I have to go back. I have to get to Nintendo World.
Wait, when did you go?
December.
I was there in January.
Oh,
And last January. And in January before that.
you're lucky. You're living my life.
I mean, I was there for 10 years.
But that's all. Thank you.
I'm William. Like if you are in Japan, I'd like to go back. The next down the line would be either France or Italy. Italy or Rome here. I'd like to go back over here. France because it's cool. I'm originally from Louisiana, but I've been here in Vegas since '99. Some Vegas in 2 centuries. Yeah, 2 centuries and two decades.
I'm Yami. I was mostly like raised here in Vegas for a while. Where I'd like to go to would be like Canada. Yeah. So I feel like experiences that we have over there. So it's like there's like a lot of snowboard like anywhere and all that.
Also tired.
My name is Kiana. I was born in Puerto Rico, but I live in Florida. I just moved here. One place I'd like to visit is Greece or Spain. To see my family.
What part of Florida?
Like, near Sarasota.
I used to live up in St. Pete and then Ocala. Ocala. Just countryside.
Small world.
I was just in Sarasota.
Hello, my name is Megumi. I'm originally from Japan. I work with STEM non-profit organization with Yupin. I want to go to Korea.
Oh,
Yeah, I have experience in Japan. I want to try in Korea.
Thank you for everybody's introduction to about themselves, and we hope we will try to do more and remember each other's names and just spend a little time together. So today we're gonna have Dr. Richard, and she's gonna speak about a few topics, about what she's doing, some opportunities for volunteer, and also like setting goals for the semester or for the year basically, and then maybe some touch bases with some information about human trafficking. Yeah, so we'll welcome Dr. Kusha. She's assistant professor at the Department of Criminal Justice. Yeah, she just started to become our professor. She was so excited when I first met her, so we're also very excited to have her.
Yes, thank you.
Nice.
I think this will be really informal. Do you guys mind if I just sit?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this
Okay,
is
awesome.
formal, standing. No, just.
The heat has got me too. Yeah, I just wanted to put together a really short presentation just to introduce myself so you guys are like, who is this woman who is this new faculty advisor? I also really wanted to spend some time to learn more about your goals for the rest of the school year. I am 8 months pregnant, so we'll see how long I can be involved, but hoping to be involved as much as I can, especially this semester.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One more month?
2 more
Oh,
actually.
wait, 2 more.
Yeah, they don't tell you that.
They
They
don't
say
tell
9
you
months,
that.
but it's really 10 weeks. It's 10 months.
10 months.
Yeah.
See, I don't know any of this.
I just want to.
Congrats.
Thank you so much. So like I said, I would really like to spend time to introduce myself. As you Pink said, I'm an assistant professor here in the criminal justice department. Do we have any criminal justice majors? One? Yeah. What else are the majors here? Just real quick.
Electrical engineer.
Electrical engineering.
Anthropology.
Anthropology, okay.
Psychology.
Psychology.
I haven't declared yet, but I'm part of fully business school.
About the what? Business
I
school?
said I haven't declared yet, but I'm a fully business school.
Okay, wonderful. Anyone else?
I'm doing psychology as well, but I like minor.
Okay. Hopefully I see you. And are you a student?
No.
Yeah.
I'm with UPenn and maybe me.
Okay, wonderful.
Also part of psychology.
Psychology, okay, that makes sense.
Psychology.
I'm curious to see how you got involved in things like that, but maybe we can talk later with mechanical engineering. So this is my third year here in the College of Urban Affairs. Hopefully I do see you guys in the classroom at some point. But I'm a tenure track assistant professor, which means about 1/3 of the time I'm teaching, about 1/3 of the time I'm working on research, and then 1/3 of the time I'm working on service. So my research has really focused on violence and victimization, including human trafficking, and more specifically sex trafficking. So this was kind of an interest of mine, and then I moved to Vegas, and like every opportunity came up related to trafficking for some reason, but I'm enjoying it, so I'm just taking it. I'm working, and I'll talk a little bit about the different projects that I'm working on related to trafficking. So previously, I've done a lot of research looking at consequences of trafficking. So surveying people across the country, asking them about their experiences and looking at beyond just mental health and physical health, how does trafficking experience impact people's finances, how they work, how they go to school, their relationships and things like that. And I've also really looked at folks with disabilities, how they might be more at risk for trafficking. And also some public perceptions, looking at how much does the public really know about trafficking, how does that inform our response, things like that. And then right now, the projects related to trafficking I'm working on, one of them focuses on disaster-related areas. So someone from this organization called Project Bear Hugs reached out to me, and she goes across the country when there is a natural disaster and responds to the folks. And she said, do you think trafficking happens in these situations? And I said, absolutely, let's learn more about it. So right now we're developing a survey. I'm gonna be interviewing folks who have been in a disaster-related area. And maybe I should talk about trafficking first. So folks who are new here, can you raise your hand? Okay. And do you know what I'm referring to when I say trafficking? Not really? Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, were you asking just yes or no, or did you?
Yeah, no, I would love to hear it.
I thought we were referring to human trafficking, right?
Yes.
Where people are held against their will normally to do sexual favors?
Okay, that's one part.
Really, there's more?
Yeah. So there's many different forms of trafficking. Does anyone add to that? Anyone who's like been along? Yeah. Working conditions? Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else? So there are a ton of different forms that someone can be trafficked. And the main criteria is that they're compelled or coerced against their will. So legally, this needs to be through means of force, fraud, or coercion. So I think people typically think of trafficking, sex trafficking, that is one of the main ways people are trafficked. People, I think, typically think sex trafficking and maybe like people are being beaten to submission or chained up or things like that. And those cases absolutely do happen. We see it's much more nuanced than that. So it might be you're compelled or coerced into working beyond your working hours and you don't get paid for it. Maybe it's sexual favors. Maybe it's some things like, in some countries we see child soldiers or organ trafficking. Those are much less common here in the United States. But any type of behavior that involves force, fraud, or coercion, of course we know what force means, right? So like using physical restraints or like physically assaulting someone. Fraud means maybe I'm walking down on the strip and someone comes up to me and says, hey, do you want to be a model, a pregnancy model, if that's a thing? But really, they're really only wanting to use me for
sexual services or things like that. So that's fraud, making false promises. And then coercion is similar to fraud, but that's maybe I'm gonna threaten you or threaten your family and say, hey, if you don't fall in line with this, I will hurt your family. Or I'm gonna take your documents so you don't have them and things like that. So it's so many different experiences beyond what people typically think of when they think of sex trafficking, and then usually being like forced into submission. So force, fraud, or coercion are the main tactics used, and there's all these different types. There's sex trafficking, labor trafficking is getting much more attention. So that could be, again, you're simply not getting paid for your time. That could be, right, I will sponsor you and maybe sponsor your visa if you want to come to the United States, and then you'll owe me $5,000. But while you're here and you're living here, okay, every day you use toilet paper or you eat my food, that's another $20 a day. And then you're kind of stuck in this cycle. Have you guys seen the new Wonka movie?
I have.
No? It's actually a great example of labor trafficking.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was really surprised. Who has seen it? Yeah, Rosa?
Did it just come out?
I think 24?
Last year, yeah, I came out last
Yeah.
year. It was, I think I saw it on a streaming service. I
Mhm.
didn't see it in the movie theater,
Yeah.
so it's out.
Within the last year, yeah.
I didn't watch more TV.
I have seen 3 movies my whole life, and that's actually one of them, because I heard people said it's a great example of labor trafficking. So it's exactly how it ends up working. People are promised things, and then, oh yeah, but here's this caveat, and now you're stuck here working for longer and things like that. And that's why I say it's many different experiences. A lot of the sex trafficking victims I've talked to, they will not classify themselves as a sex trafficking victim. And that's where the nuance comes in, where who am I to tell you you're a victim? Legally, you are. But I don't know if you guys have had those debates between like prostitution and trafficking and things like that, and where does choice come in if you have a pimp? Is that really autonomy and all those things? And we can talk more about that. That's an ongoing debate in the literature today. But I do want to say if anyone's under 18, there's no question about it. It doesn't have to be force, fraud, or coercion. There's no such thing as a child prostitute, even if they say, I want to be here. That is a trafficking example. Any questions with the different types or different experiences or things like that? No? And then I do want to stress that anyone can be trafficked. Certain people are at higher risk, right? So if you read interviews or interview people who are traffickers, they will say, I look for common risk factors to exploit people. Because they see in their eyes, this person might be easier to manipulate, this person might be more vulnerable. I will take advantage of those vulnerabilities. So if you see things, especially like past victimization, childhood adversity, especially if it's a child, if they have unstable housing or an unstable family life, traffickers will pick up on that. There's one trafficker, my colleague was interviewing a trafficker, and he said he will walk around malls, and anyone who looks like they're being left out of the friend group, he will go after that person because maybe they're feeling low self-esteem or all of the things. So they will pick up on vulnerabilities and go after them.
So it's really insidious.
Yes, it can be, absolutely.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of times they also like become friends with them for a while,
Yes,
and then they'll eventually
yes.
tear their thing down. But
So that's why it's so gray and not so black and white, and all these experiences are different. You talk to a lot of young trafficked girls and they'll say, no, that's my boyfriend, but I'll have sex with his friends because that's how we pay our rent, or things like that. You hear that a lot, that's my boyfriend, or things like
So it
that.
starts with grooming.
Yes, exactly. That's why a lot of victims are not gonna say, I am a victim. And again, like, people have their different opinions on that. I would never tell someone this is what you are. But it usually is more gray than the stories that we think of in here. Substance abuse, especially family substance abuse if they are younger, or personal substance abuse. And that ties in a lot to okay, I can manipulate this person easier, I can control this person easier if they have a substance abuse problem or if they are under the influence of something. And a lot of pimps will start people on drugs, give them drugs as payment, and then, okay, now I'm kind of dependent on this person because I have an addiction and this person is supplying. You okay? Yeah? Okay. This person is supplying what I need and things like that. And then finally, disability status is also a huge marker of someone who could be exploited. And this is again, because a lot of traffickers will pinpoint, will identify, will seek out folks that they view will be easier to control or manipulate. So that could be a mental health disability, that could be a medical disability, like a physical disability. A lot of different types fall under that. But again, there's not just one type of person who is being exploited. It can happen, we've seen it across race, across gender, across socioeconomic status. It's really something that affects all different types of groups. I believe the stats are like 97% of victims are females, but young men are also trafficked, absolutely. And then I'm not gonna go through all of these absolutely, and I know that you guys, especially who have been in this club before, you've probably talked about signs and things like that already, but it's not something that's super apparent all the time. So even as a professor, if I notice someone is super engaged coming to class, and then all of a sudden they start falling asleep in class, or they stop coming, or there's of course like bruises or marks and things like that, I would pick up on those different signs. We see this a lot with labor trafficking if they don't have access to their own documentation. Again, it could just be that they're not getting paid what they're promised or owed. If someone is always monitoring their actions, that might be a sign as well. Again, I'm not gonna go through any of these. I will send this PowerPoint out to everyone on the email chain. If you have questions or anything.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Students are technically a sensitive group to this stuff.
Yeah.
Just because of the incomes and stuff like that. Something that we should be able to watch out for.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, I think that's the biggest thing I've learned over the years from interviewing victims and talking to people is that it's not just the case that we always think of, and there's like all these little signs that maybe we should be picking up as community members to identify these risk factors. So I think you guys have this number. Yeah, Yuping has it printed on the little sheets, but this is the human trafficking line. I want to say that there's excellent services out there, but even in Las Vegas, and something that I hope maybe if anyone wants to get involved with, is something called the Big Search. I have that on the next slide. Have you guys heard about this? Vegas folks? No? Have you heard about Free International?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
William.
I think the big
They
search.
don't one of the stuff
Yeah.
behind the toilets.
What was that?
The paper behind the toilet.
Yes, so that's human trafficking hotline. You've heard of the Big Search?
Yeah,
So
I actually helped out with them.
You did? Okay, awesome.
Earlier this year, last year.
Yeah. So every around F1 in November and then around the Super Bowl in February, this organization comes and we partner with NHP, Nebraska Highway Patrol, Metro at times, a bunch of different nonprofits, and they identify youth who have been reported missing or ran away, and most of them have been trafficked. They go on this wild search and they pretty much look up the location. They go through Facebook, they go through police reports, they go through any documentation with child welfare to try to identify these youth who have been missing, in hopes to identify them, provide them resources, bring them back home if that is the best case scenario. So I can absolutely provide more information. If anyone's involved with that, baby's due in November, so my ability will probably be really low to be involved. But typically they really want volunteers to go out and canvass the community. So do you guys know what that means? Yeah, basically just ask and gain all and any intel about these children that you can. They're really always looking for volunteers, and especially folks who are knowledgeable about trafficking and things like that. So that's one way that I hope we can kind of coordinate and get involved with the community. I also know someone from, it's called Prevent Child Trafficking. It's an organization here in Nevada that really focuses on prevention, just like this organization. So maybe partner with some of these organizations if you guys want to get involved in things like that, outside of just continuing to learn about trafficking ourselves, maybe inform others about trafficking. Would really like to hear more about what y'all's goals for this semester are. Have we thought about that yet? No? Did you guys think about, when you started last spring, was the goal really to learn more, educate yourselves?
That was my goal.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn more and figure out how big of an issue this was.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it on like movies and stuff, and like I'm like, oh, that happens, but I wasn't like aware that it happens so frequently
Mhm.
and to so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. So
And not
education.
easy.
Yeah. You still feel like you have, as a club, a lot to learn?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that goal. Is there a goal of teaching others what you learned, or we're not there yet?
I mean, my goal was pretty much to share the knowledge that I've accumulated over the years and like share my life experiences with some people. I was in the Navy and did what's called a lot of the training for human trafficking and stuff.
Mhm.
I helped coordinate some of that stuff, but we also had people who were not, like some of the sailors that we had were being trafficked.
Mhm.
Not have no idea that they were being trafficked.
Right.
Like we said before, like big one is like,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
They'll get abused by their husbands.
Yeah.
It happens to us too, so it's not that common that it happens.
Yeah. Okay. So continue to learn, maybe talk about experiences with other folks.
Yeah, we did we each like took turns doing presentations on like different topics pertaining to human trafficking. I did one on how the dangers of social media
Okay.
and how it can be easy to be lured,
Yes.
and yeah,
That's huge now, right? Absolutely.
it's like the biggest way, one of the biggest ways to like make a connection.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. It is, yeah. I've heard of like, folks who are trying to exploit people, sending out hundreds of messages a day. And if they even get one girl to reply, then maybe that could be someone that they exploit. Any hope to get involved in like community initiatives or other organizations? That's totally fine if you're like, not yet, but I just have these connections, so I wanna know is that something we want to do? Yeah? Okay.
I would like to do community involvement.
Okay.
Like, with New Hope Ocean Club, we do, like volunteer work for, like to help, homeless people.
Mhm.
And so that's really cool. So if we could do something that is pertaining to human trafficking, like the big search or
Yeah,
something, that would be really cool.
Yeah, and you probably, there's such overlap between homelessness and substance abuse and trafficking that people that you work with probably have undergone some of these experiences. Yeah, absolutely. Any other goals?
To gain more, people traction with.
Yeah, okay.
People.
Yeah.
I would like
Get the word
I
out more?
appreciate everybody here, but let's spread the word.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to send out a group email, but I was outreaching this morning for about 2 hours.
Oh, wonderful.
On campus, it's
Yeah.
a free speech zone. So I was, giving out pamphlets and also inviting people to our club meeting. I think some people, it's interesting, they heard about it, but some of them doesn't really know what it means.
Yes.
So I think, to raise that kind of awareness on campus, like, let everybody know what it is and exactly how to spot it and how to report, the
Mhm.
process.
Yes,
I
right.
felt it's very important, so outreaching is one of our outreach, that's awesome.
And just for my knowledge, is anyone invited or we're sticking with UNLV student base?
Anybody's invited.
Okay.
If anybody's invited.
We, but if you bring children, let me know, cause then I have to update the settings for, for our thing. It's a, yeah.
No kids, no kids. Okay, I like that.
Initially, I was thinking we can also reach out, once the students are more prepared to give presentations, we can reach out to different organizations on campus, you know, like fraternities, sororities,
Yes.
others, club, register student organizations, and offer them, if we can come to your meetings and
Yeah,
talk about human trafficking awareness.
absolutely.
So that's something that I was thinking.
Mhm.
That makes me nervous, but yeah. we can do that.
No, you'll be great. I like that idea.
That is a really good idea.
I think your peers will be receptive to you versus professor who yells at them all day anyways already.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
What's it then?
It's real
Oh, one time. Oh, yeah, we talked about like, my idea, I had an idea that going to either Fremont Street or a touristy place
Mhm.
and do like a film, kind of like you're a touristy, like a touristy kind of film. And then in one of our presentations, that show that film, and even though we don't know for a fact that people in the video are trafficked or not, but just use them as an example, so like that this person could be, and that person could be. And
Share it
I
on social
think-
media too.
yeah, I think you brought up that with doing that might get some actors, or
Mhm.
like, which, because if somebody recognizes somebody on the film, they might come up with the wrong ideas.
Right.
So I kind of thought about it more. If that were to happen, could do it here on campus, like during Club Rush or whatever,
Mhm.
and get in contact with the, like the theater department or the film department or something like that.
Yes.
And have the students be the actors, be
Mhm.
part of the focusing on the film, while everybody else is just background, no credit to them, but have the students acting like the trafficker or the traffickee, and present that in a presentation, kind of almost like a training film.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Just like what I was saying earlier with it looking so different across different scenarios and things like that. When I send this out, I can send to just like, I have a whole number of different case examples that really show you, like real case examples from people's lives of how different it can look. And that sounds similar to that.
And part of the idea is like, with Fremont Street, the original idea was like, there's so many different dress styles. And a trafficked person doesn't always dress the same.
Right.
And it could be a three-piece suit, or it could be raggedy shorts and a t-shirt. So you just kind
Right.
of a variety.
And we've worked with, actors here, I don't know, they're from the drama department, just to show how you canvas, and if anyone helps out with canvassing with the big search, you'll meet with them too, and they were really, really incredible, so I feel like they would be open to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the big search, when I think it was the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
we did. And that was pretty good. We had given not a flyer, like a booklet kind of flyer.
Yes.
And one of the people that we talked to in one of the businesses recognized one of the individuals. It's like, yeah, this individual was passed through like 2 days prior.
Yeah.
So, we couldn't approach that individual for safety reasons.
Right.
But that we gave the information to the big search people, which in turn went to the law enforcement or
Yeah.
whoever. So
Yeah,
it was
I think
pretty good.
the last time in February, we identified 9 individuals. Yeah, and the November before that, we identified 7. And between us, I think there's some wins and loses. Like I said, not everyone feels like they're a victim, and not everyone wants to leave. Like one of the trafficking victims we talked to from the big search, she was like, oh no, I found a new life, I don't do this anymore. And then she was just lying to us because she was comfortable in that situation. So all that we can do is really like provide them resources and things like that. And I think the big search is helpful for that, to connect them with resources, know that people are here that wanna help. But it's not like a story where you identify these missing children and they're sent home to their lovely home and then everything's great. It's usually 7 to 9 different contacts with law enforcement or social workers and things like that. So I think that's good to think about too. If we do get involved in canvassing and things like that, yeah.
I think a good thing is to try to pass out some of this information to the students here, because I think that a lot of people come to Vegas with the idea that,
Yes.
oh, this is a good thing, this is what I wanna do. Like, they come here with the idea that human like, that's what they're looking for, you know?
Well, I think a lot of people think it's legal here,
Yeah.
prostitution.
And that makes it even worse. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, man, why? It's like, I think they gotta understand what's behind that. It's not just like, oh, but whatever they're gonna enjoy for a little bit. No, it's like, you understand that this is a person that's suffering, and you're promoting this, and you're making it where other people are actively working to encourage or make money, profit from you. Like you're promoting this kind of style. I think that's something that would be like just passing out information and getting people to understand. Maybe people spread and
Right. Yeah.
at least disseminating the information.
Right.
One less person encouraging the activities, one less person.
Right. I think there's a ton of misconceptions as far as what trafficking is and what it looks like and things like that. But yeah, absolutely getting more accurate information out there. And that might be contributing to outreach too. I think those are some good goals. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else you guys hope to do?
I think a few of them are first time, so
Yes.
I think they wanted to learn more as well. Yeah, what human trafficking is and
Yeah, can I ask why you guys wanted to come? Not to put you on the spot.
To say, just to kind of see like what it's about, you know, to kind of like learn a little bit more about that sort of situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
She just came with me, so.
Most of what? I was also interested though. So, yeah.
I appreciate the honesty. Yeah, absolutely.
It is an interesting topic, especially considering where we live right now. And this affects like your community, and it's like, the less we have of it, the better our community could be. And that's probably like a good enough reason for like everybody to come around here. It's like, we live here, so we want this community to be better. And even if we don't live here forever, and we're only here for like a little while still, you know, like, leave the community where we live as nice as possible.
Absolutely.
you know, the reason we kind of started this human trafficking prevention club is because I guess hearing a lot of like survivor stories and, you know, seeing what things happen to them We know that it's very important to have services to help them get out of the situation, get them back on their feet. But at the same time, why let it happen? It saves so much more damages, and
Yes.
it's the one that will never recover. And once it happens, it will be like a permanently, not just physically abuse, but on your heart, your mind, in your whole life, basically, it's change,
Right.
And just, I feel prevention efforts equivalent as important. And we just wish that all the students here, can proceed with the rest of their life,
Mhm.
and really, just not, I
Right.
don't know where to go there.
Yeah. And most of my research is focused on the tail end of it, but prevention is always gonna be the goal. Yeah, absolutely. And just as a researcher from working with the Big Search, I really wanna learn more about the services here in Las Vegas. Cause after we identified girls, like I said, we found 9 and then 7, and these were folks who were ready for services. And then we'd be like, okay, we'll find you housing tonight. And then we're looking around, making calls, and there's nowhere for them to go. Even though there's certain institutions that, I don't wanna hate on any institutions. You guys know about St. Jude's? Yeah. I think they got millions of dollars to make a facility, specifically for trafficked children. Because it is a population that is so hard, because a lot of them have criminal backgrounds because they're arrested for prostitution, and then they can't get certain services. A lot of these kids have really troubling backgrounds, so there might be behavior problems. And also they have instances where they're trying to recruit people within these services, and obviously we don't want that at all. So it's really difficult to find them housing. Even the facilities that were built specifically, they're doing their best, but they don't have enough clinicians there. So I would really like to learn more about what the heck is going on in these institutions and these facilities that
Do these
are meant for it.
institutions, they require them to have a squeaky clean record?
A lot of them are. So let's say it's a runaway youth facility and they only treat runaway youth. A lot of them only accept people who don't have a criminal record, because the youth that are there, they don't want any influences of.
Still, it's like the people that usually need the most help are usually the ones that have some kind of record.
Right, and there's gonna be overlapping needs. Yeah.
And then if you don't help them out, per se, they're more willing to commit more issues.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, prostitution, I get it, like that is a crime, but at the same time, it's not like that person was intended to commit that crime,
Well, especially.
And then there's other crimes that they can commit too,
Yeah.
on top of that.
They're getting better nowadays at identifying victims, there's prostitution courts, have you guys heard about those? So they're getting better now at being like, all right, you were a trafficking victim, you got thrown in jail for being a victim, basically, you were not prostituting yourself willingly. They're getting much better at identifying victims from folks who
I didn't know that.
are willingly doing
That's
this.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, 'cause I always thought about that, and I'm like, that's kinda messed up,
Yeah,
Okay, that's
Right.
good that they're doing that.
yeah. I think it is an uphill battle, but I think these kids especially need services, and they need, especially when we were identifying them and promising them things, and then we couldn't place them anywhere. It was very frustrating.
I have a question. It seems like we veered away from trafficking as a whole to more so child trafficking. Is that the goal for the organization as it relates to community outreach?
What do you guys think?
I think trafficking is it covers everybody, not just child trafficking. Yeah, so I think, especially since we're at the university campus, I wanna especially focus on students that are on campus like our age, and of course it expands to the whole community, but it doesn't limit it to just child trafficking.
Do those initiatives look different from a planning and or process standpoint of how we support them?
I would say yes and no. it's just, like I was saying before, the nuance between folks, if they're an adult, it's much more crystal clear if you're a child being trafficked. If you're an adult who has a PIN, but says you're doing this and you wanna be here, but if you don't come, then you're gonna get beaten. It's like the autonomy and what you identify as, like, it's just so much more gray. I would say the services are very similar as far as there's so many overlapping needs that lead to people in these situations, like substance use, homelessness, childhood trauma, even if you are an adult. A lot of the services tap into the same things. I would say it's more about placement for children, like getting you out of whatever situation that you're in.
Thank you.
But that's good to think about. Most of my research is focused on children, so that's why I always get pulled back. Yeah. That's a good question.
Why did you want to try?
I found the club to be like really interesting when I was like walking around the involvement fair thing, and I was really interested in seeing like how I could like educate not only myself but other people. I wanted to be able to reach out the knowledge to other people, if that makes sense, and also like being able to like help other people. I guess.
Personally, I wanted to join this club because actually this summer I started reading more feminist literature, and a topic that it typically covers is prostituted for young children. The vast majority of trafficking victims, sex trafficking victims, are largely women and children. So I wanted to personally, interact more with a community that cares about issues like these and learn more, and ultimately see if I can maybe get involved in a larger community that will participate in things like research or stuff like that. Just see what I can do.
Absolutely. Seems like a lot of similar goals across folks.
Well, we do have 7 more minutes in the room.
Okay.
Does anybody want to talk about anything
This
specific?
is your last one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you want to take a picture?
Yeah, I'll wrap it up actually before we take a picture.
Okay.
Yeah. So, thank you, Dr. Kershaw. It's very informative. It's very informative, and I'm glad we set some goals for the year. So it looks like we have a lot ahead of us to do, and I wanted to keep in touch with everyone for like outreach opportunities, and we'll keep in touch with Dr. Kershaw. If you have any other suggestions, feel free to email or respond to our messages. And then lastly, I wanted to say there's some information, basic information about human trafficking. There's some pamphlets, there's some flyers on the table, and then some signs. And I also have another, there's some volunteer opportunities to help with pickup trash or the surf flu. It's called Giving Friday, starting tomorrow. At 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it's at the Restoration Recovery Cross Street from Salvation Army, Owen Street. And that's part of our other initiative. Focusing on homelessness, and also Saturday we have like 8:30 to 10:30 trash pickup in the neighborhood. We partner with Pick It Up Las Vegas, so they look for places that has a lot of trash. They're trying to clean the city. So if you want to know any more of these opportunities, you can talk to my coworker Maybe. Yeah,
I go there tomorrow.
yeah, she's always there. Yes. So we will take a group picture.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's hard to say. You're gonna be feeling it.
Oh, the picture's good. And I'll send it.
You said you're like a teacher?
Yeah.
You take my photo there?
Yeah, I think, okay.
No, that's okay. Undergrad in Wisconsin, master's in Wisconsin.